Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to today's deck profile. I'm here with myself, Disencoder, aka Kevin, and
Hi, hi,
Susu
hi.
from Head to Head
Yeah,
Battles.
let's
So
go, baby.
we teamed up today to play in a 3v3. I think the first ever 3v3 multiple that I've heard of. It might be the first ever that I've seen. And yeah, we got first place. Very close games throughout all of our matches. And we're excited to show you guys the decks that we played this past weekend. So. Do you guys want to say any words before we jump right into it?
I mean, you got this, bro. Go ahead and show us your
Okay.
Drytron spice.
Yeah, I'll start off with Drytron. So first, quick small shout out to Christian Urena, the homie. He was the one who sent me a deck where it was basically a Warcrime version of Drytrons. I made a small adjustment for a meta call this weekend where I expected a lot of virtual, and so you see the main deck lances here. But basically, Christian played the same list as I did and got second place at another regional the past weekend. So I just talked with him and we theorized some stuff. So yeah, huge shouts to him. And I'm gonna walk you through the profile now. So I have these all spread out like this in terms of like spells, monsters, and all that good stuff, and what role they play within the deck. So we kind of have like consistency cards. So these are all consistency cards. We start with emergency. It's just I think you have to play through this. It gets you any name. Nova gets you any name as well. Prosperity gets you anything. And then Meteonis and Fafnir are basically just one-ofs. We wanted to make the deck 40 cards as consistent as possible while playing the most amount of hand traps so you don't auto-lose going second. Prosperity over prep for some is something that people might be asking. Is the main reason is that prep doesn't help you win games 2 and 3. Prosperity does. That's like the biggest thing. And this card can also grab you Ben 10 if you needed this to be a prep. So this card is just like insane overall. Like the prep effect to add Meteoris from the graveyard never comes up. It's never relevant. So that's why Prosperity is in here over the prep. And so that's pretty much it for the spells. Total of, I believe, 11 spells. And then we have the Drytron names right here. So we only play 7. So 3 alpha, 3 zeta, and 1 gamma, and then no delta, no beta. So this is a very unique take on the deck, but the logic here being that like delta doesn't accomplish you anything. So you have to understand and look at it from the aspect that if you open up Ben 10 Delta, you look ridiculous, right? Like it doesn't accomplish or advance your game state unless you have like something else to like let you draw. And most of the time, like the draw one like never matters. Like unless you draw something like OP when you have to get lucky, it also conflicts with Prosperity. So we just decided not to play that card at all. And it only comes up when you draw a handful of Drytron monsters, but that should never happen because you legit only play 7 names. The odds of you drawing like 3 or 4 of this in your starting hand is very low, right? Like our ideal hand is like open up 2-3 Drytron combos, like 2-3 card combos, and have 2 hand traps. Like that's the way the deck is built. And then in terms of like some, I guess, light fairies. So we play 2 Cyber Petite and then 1 Manju is our normal summons. We play 2 and 1 because instead of 1 and 2, mainly for the fact that if you hard open Cyber Petite, you want Ava to always search you 2 fairies. So that's why you play 2 of this. Manju is because it's a combo piece. Ava and Dawn Knight because it's combo. Ava is actually really broken. This card, even like not discarding this card is sometimes so key because there's many times where you open up like ultimateness and then like 2 hand traps plus Ava and like orange. So what I do is I like would draw them, and so like you wouldn't pitch Ava because when you draw your opponent, you also draw yourself. So that's something to keep in mind. So what I do is I hold this for the follow up and I normal summon it to make Zeus with in case like my board gets broken. So like this card was insane. Like just searching this to normal summon it to play around border was just so crazy. So like I love this card. Hand traps, Warcrime, basically 3 of everything. So 3 Lancia. It's also a light fairy. I expected virtual. These were previously Droll. 3 Ash, generic Nib because it covers every matchup except trap decks, and then orange light because it has really good synergy with the rest of your deck. And then the only rituals we play is 3 Ben 10, 1 Natasha, 1 Ultimateness. I side this card out going second every time, but I like it. I like having it still. It's still pretty nice. Actually won me 1 game where I got literally nibbed and hand trapped, so it's pretty nice. So yeah, 40 card main, clean, consistent list. I liked it. No issues. Extra deck. So we have 1 restrict because I side the instant fusion. We don't main instant fusion because it's only good going first. We rather have cards post Cypher going first. So that's why like this card is in here, and you can always banish it off Prosperity. 1 Nightingale, Downer Zeus. I think pretty standard. There's nothing to say about that. Access code, Boral Sword, and Appaloosa for the Link 4s. All these were amazing. The only change I made from Gunther's list or Christian's list was instead of playing a second carrier, I played the Appaloosa, and this card won me like 2 games. So I really like it. There's one end board where there's a hand where you can make Appaloosa before you activate Dytron effects or even Ritual Summon. And that actually came up for me where I legit made Appaloosa for 4 before I kept playing to play around like basically every hand trap under the sun. Carrier and Mirage Light. This card was insane. Yeah, I made this in part of my combo to like play around the back row, and when they do get rid of it, it got nibbed. I added back 2 cards, and yeah, they just lost from there. And then Nightmare Package, standard. IP was also nuts. People like always get surprised. Actually, I think my opponent in the last round was also surprised, but IP Masquerena and Link Rebo can make you Herald Mirage Light, and that's why you see me end on that board a lot. It's something that like isn't as obvious, but it's pretty clean. And Link Rebo was probably MVP just because it got me a I guess a type of monster that met conditions for border to let me activate stuff. And then Relinquish Anima because people always, it's like part of a combo. If you open Nova and you punish people playing bad into zones. So 15 extra deck. Let me see. So side deck. Basically, so the way I did it was we had these, and instead of Lightning Storm for Twin because we were afraid of Winda. Like our deck auto loses to Winda, so we need to side in Twin Twisters instead of Lightning Storm. And then Red Reboot is just ridiculous. Dark Ruler for Winda, for Dragoon. Any of those decks. So pretty good. 3 Joel. I couldn't find my 3rd ulti, so don't unsub. I think Susu stole it. Joel's good. Just in case you play against Dytrons, you put this in. Play against the Invoke deck, so like you stop them from getting access to Winda, like Invoked Dogmatica. So Joel's nice. And also against Virtual World, I side these in with the 6 spells. So I have like 18 hand traps post side for the virtual matchup. I still only draw 1, but it's fine. 3 Bell because it's probably the best card to side in when you go first. Being an offensive and defensive card, making sure you don't get Psycho Reader, making sure you don't get DD Crowed, Querrelled. They can't Sanguine, or they can, but you can stop it. Like it's just probably like one of the best cards in my side deck. And then the last 2 for going first is Call By and Instant Fusion. And that's it. Yeah, went 3-1 overall. My matchups were 2 Virtual Worlds. Lost to Virtual World round 1. I basically didn't draw a hand trap game 1, so I lost. Game 2, I saw a hand trap, and then I went first. And then game 3, I saw 1 hand trap, which was not enough. Game 2, or match 2, I played another Virtual World. I went first, but I lost game 1, and I was able to come back game 2 and 3 with hand traps. Which is like the only reason I'm winning because I'm playing like Warcrime Drytrons, where like I can still go second and just hand trap my opponent to death and play. And then 3 and 4 were Elic. 3 was pretty good. He didn't open like insane, and so like this deck is pretty good into trap decks as long as they don't draw you. And even if they do, you can like your game plans to Zeus them, which happened. And then game 3 was just like, and then match 4 was super close. Game 1 I won definitively. Game 2 was. He was on 300 life points, and it was, like, nuts. But I had to scoop for time purposes. I'd like to go to Game 3. And even Game 3 was, like, super nuts, too. But, yeah, shout out to my opponent from that who didn't slow play me. And that's pretty much it. Overall, good tournament.
Yay.
Yay, people happy.
Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. Hit that notification bell.
Okay, yeah,
How
let's
do you
do
always
this.
forget that?
Dude, honestly, I always do.
Who's
but,
next?
yeah, thanks, guys.
Am I